All right, what's up, guys? Stanford Pines here, and I just saw Godspeed You, Black Emperor in concert. First time seeing them live. Um, it was a really intense experience, and definitely one of the best concerts that I've ever been to. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about it because it left a pretty big impact on me. I know it just happened. It's almost 2 in the morning. So I just got home like 10 minutes ago, and I just wanted to record a quick video before I fell asleep. So this might be a little bit disconnected, but it's going to be short anyways. So, I've been a fan of Godspeed You Black Emperor for a really long time now, discovering them like several years ago. And they quickly became one of the most anticipated bands that I wanted to see live, and I finally had the chance to do it. They finally came around for this tour, and immediately upon the announcement, I was like, I'm going. I finally have the opportunity to go, and this is the first concert that I've been to by myself. I drove 3 hours to see them because I live in the middle of nowhere. So that's the closest they're going to get to me. So I was willing to drive 3 hours there, park like 6 blocks away, and walk to the venue an hour early just because. And I don't regret it at all. This band is, I don't know, it's one thing to hear a person on a camera talking about how good something is or how much of an experience they had, but it pales in comparison when you actually experience it for yourself. Um, I could probably count the number of concerts that I've been to before on one hand, because again, I'm Stanford Pines and I have 6 fingers. So I've seen 6 concerts, this one included. Most of them being like Christian rock bands because I've been tied to my parents ever since I was born. And this is the first time I've actually put in effort to go somewhere on my own. So, yeah, that's an experience on its own, driving 3 hours to see a concert that your parents aren't going with you to. It's a kind of a very surreal feeling. I'm sure people that go to more concerts than I do just know the feeling of when, oh, hey, that's the people that I've been listening to when they get up on stage. And it's like, I'm in the same area as them. They're in the same room as me. I don't know. It was a weird feeling for me because, again, I haven't been to very many concerts. But, I booked this ticket like 6 months in advance because I just knew that this was an opportunity that I had to see, especially after their newest album came out, one of the best that I've heard in recent years, because of course, again, everything this band does I think is great. They're one of the very few bands that um I'm one of those people that's like, oh, this band literally hasn't done anything wrong. They're one of the very few bands that I have done that to. And the show started off, they had an opener, D.H. Phillips, which was very low key compared to, the big monstrous sound of Godspeed. Very, like, it was just him on a guitar singing like kind of like folky tunes. It gave me um it reminded me a lot of some Silver Mount Zion tracks, which was really cool. It was really it set the mood, I think, pretty well for the concert. It was a really short like opener because then it allowed for like 20 minutes of intermission in which I got to go to the merch table. I bought the hoodie with the tour dates. Um, I have these pins, both of the pins that were available right there. And I also bought these 2 records, the new one and the Slow Riot EP. So now my collection is almost complete. The only ones I still haven't gotten is Luciferian Towers and Asunder Sweet and Other Distress. I have all the other ones on my shelf over there. I'm not going to go get them. So yeah, financially supporting the band, that's my paycheck, and I willingly did that because I do really enjoy this band, and if there's any band that I will willingly give $100 to for all of this material, it would be Godspeed, because I have a lot to give to them, because my entire teenage years I spent pretty much just listening to them and falling into the trap of Rate Your Music core. God damn it, I hate Rate Your Music. But in all seriousness, the concert was very, like, from the moment like the Hope drone started, it was like it was like a pit just opened. Like, I felt like my stomach drop, and it was like, this is a larger than life moment. And from beginning to end, it was just incredible. Some of the heaviest, loudest, I mean, obviously, they're a very loud band. If you've seen them in concert, you know that they're loud. I had, you bring earplugs to it, um, or else you're pretty much going to go deaf. So, very, very intense, but also I feel like that intensity was very well warranted, in the context of their sound and their messaging, because it's very in your face. It's very, um, like, you have to feel it, or else it's not going to mean anything. Especially, like, they played their entire new album, No Title, uh, first, starting with, Sun is a Hole, and then going on to Babies in a Thundercloud, and just like that track in itself is just magnificent, but hearing it played live is just, it's gotta be like a one of my like core experiences at this point. Like, that is just insane. I didn't want to take too much video at the concert, because I don't want to be like the guy, that's just like doing this the whole time with a phone or a camera or something. Like, that's kind of a douchey thing to do, I think. I got a little bit of video, and I guess I'll show this now in the video I'm making. So I didn't get like too much, because obviously I wanted to enjoy the experience, like, just, me listening to it, and I also wanted to, not distract people by having a phone up. It's funny, because at one point I like put the phone up to my forehead because I didn't want the screen to distract anybody, and I ended up just like looking at the ceiling, the phone just like tilted up toward the ceiling the entire time, which was funny. But that didn't really matter. I think I did have, like, I wanted to do a bit, because like the bit with this channel is like, oh, I eat peaches at every opportunity, because I made like 7 different videos of like Omegaverse Walmart eats peaches and does thing. And I was gonna do like Omegaverse Walmart eats peaches at a Godspeed Black Emperor concert, and I recorded the video because whatever. And it's like, I did it like before the concert started, because obviously I'm not gonna. Very, very good decision by me. I don't know if I'm gonna post that video. It's kind of lame, to be honest. But yeah, just like, no, I really have no words. I just wanted to express how much I loved this experience. And like, if anyone is on the fence about like, should I go see Godspeed You Black Emperor? Yes, do it. It will change your life. I think it will. It's been only a few hours since I've seen them, but like, I still feel like I just left the venue, and I'm still like standing there. My head is like ringing, partly because of how loud it was, and partly because of just the sheer feeling you get when you're seeing basically the band and the music that influenced your life essentially just in front of you. I'm sure that's not like that's a pretty common feeling, I guess, to people that experience concerts, but to someone like me who, again, lives in the middle of nowhere and doesn't have a lot of opportunities for that, it's something special, and I definitely took a lot away from this experience. They played their entire recent album in its entirety, and they had like this really interesting drone section in the middle of it, which led into like a brief interlude of Fire at Static Valley, which was, I think, really interesting, and they put it kind of in the middle of the album, which I think contextualized it in a pretty unique way. And also, I was sitting behind the film projectors, so I could see like the film projectors clicking and melting off because they burn the projections that they show on the screen. And I think that added to the experience a lot. After they played the recent album, they played a couple more tracks. I made the joke, it's like, oh yeah, they played like 6 songs because, they play long songs. But yeah, they played Moya from the EP that I just got. Great song, amazing song. Um, no notes. I mean, really powerful, really heavy. The last thing they played was this drawn out, like really really noisy version of East Hastings, or the Sad Mafioso, which started out with this like really really loud noisy drone, which suddenly faded out to the opening notes of East Hastings, like, and everyone started cheering because, of course, they did. And like, wow, that whole moment of East Hastings was just, I don't know, it was spectacular. It's just like one of the, I don't know, clearest moments of my life. Does that word clear, does that make any sense in that context? I don't know. It's 2 in the morning. I just got back home. I've been driving for like 6 hours today. They started the song with a drone and they ended it with a drone. And the ending drone, they basically, like, one by one, each musician just stood up and left the venue or the stage and just like essentially just left until there was one person left, and then they too got up and left, and the lights came back on, and that was it. And I remember it's like, that was 2 hours. That was 2 whole hours of material. And it literally, to me, could have been 15 minutes, or at least it felt like that. And yeah, it's definitely a moment that I'm not going to soon forget. Hopefully, I don't get hit in the head or get a lobotomy at any point in time. I would like to preserve the memory of this concert. It's a very, I used up a lot of resources and I paid a lot of stuff to be here. So, you know, I really do appreciate the opportunity. It's like, again, I don't have anything like interesting to say. This is kind of like common just words. I'm just recounting my experience for the sake of me talking about it, because I just feel like talking about it. But like, me feeling like so energized and so impacted by the time that it was over and by the time I was leaving, it's just something that I can't explain. Like, I know Godspeed. I've listened to their albums countless times. I know, like, I know what they're about. I know pretty much everything about them. Again, they're my favorite band in the world. I think they're the greatest band of all time. But to see them in this new way is just, I don't know, it's very special to me, you know? And again, if I had the money and the resources to go see them at multiple shows, trust me, I definitely would. But this is the first time I've ever been able to since I became a fan, and it was a very special experience. And then I ended up just sitting, like, it's like, I want to, do I listen to Godspeed You Black Emperor on the way back? It's like, of course I will. I don't know. I actually no, because actually I listened to "Children of God" by Swans. Great album, by the way. Getting back into Swans. Kind of similar, a little bit. I certainly got everything out of this concert that I was hoping to get. They didn't play. They didn't play "She Dreamt She Was a Bulldozer," unfortunately. Greatest piece of theirs, but I have really no complaints. It was an incredible night, an incredible band, and I will forever thank them for their existence and for what they've done to not only just like me, the rate your music kid at home in nowhere America, but just to the broader musical scene. And I really appreciate what they're doing um, in the music, world. I guess I don't know. I'm not being profound. I don't know what to do. I'm tired as heck. Like, okay, this is kind of cool though. This is like really cool. All right. Yeah, it's a very disorganized video. I didn't really have that much really to say, but hey, I talked about the thing I was going to talk about, and that's a first. I stayed on topic for the most part. All right, I'm going to head to sleep because I have been awake for far too long and I have to start working on finals. Help me. Oh my gosh, finals are going to kill me, but at least I have the memory to remember as finals kills me is this concert. Was this concert worth me failing? Yes.